Welcome to Week 9 NFL Picks. I'm your host, Jay Hewitt, staff writer for the Chabot Spectator. Last week, San Francisco beat Cleveland. Philadelphia trounced Dallas. KC upset San Diego. And in our two wild card games, Pittsburgh beat New England and Buffalo beat Washington. So this week, we got both local teams playing. We got Denver at Oakland, San Francisco at Washington, the Sunday night game, Baltimore at Pittsburgh, and the Monday night game, Chicago at Philadelphia. And our wild card game this week is Green Bay at San Diego. Now to introduce the panel. First, we got our sports editor, Roger Molina, who went 2-3 last week. Then we got staff writer for The Spectator, Bernard Miranda, who went 3-2 last week. Then we got another staff writer for the Chabot Spectator, Rashawn Mungo, who also went 3-2 last week. Then we got our managing editor, John Como, who went 4-1 last week. And I went 2-3 last week. So the panel decided unanimously for this first game. We all chose Oakland. Oakland is coming off a bye week where they got a lot of extra work with their new quarterback in Carson Palmer. All the receivers stayed extra time, got extra practice with them so they could get a rapport together. And I don't know if that's the right word.
Synchronization.
But, yeah, basically it makes the offense synchronized. And I see this offense starting to click. Even if Darren McFadden sits out, and I hope he doesn't, but even if he does, I think Michael Bush is ready to carry the load. I think he can carry the load, and I see Oakland beating this bad Denver team.
I'm picking the Raiders too because of the Tim Tebow factor. Tim Tebow is only completing 23% of his passes when he's being blitzed. The Raiders are one of the most blitz-heavy teams in the league. They average 24 blitzes a game, and they only give up 37% of their passes when they actually do blitz. So I think if you combine that together with Willie McGahee being out, I just think Tim Tebow's not going to have enough weapons at that with the Raiders being at home. I think they get back on track this weekend.
Yeah, I got Oakland. Denver they're not playing well. I think if Oakland gets first downs and keeps that defense rested and off the field, that Oakland will be able to handle them well.
Yeah, and Oakland just had a bye week, so they were able to see Tim Tebow on tape, basically realize that he holds the ball for way too long, and if they blitz him, that he never looks past his primary receiver, so as long as they're able to make sure he doesn't do that, and they're going to be able to stop him. And if McGahee's out, they have nothing else offensively. And like you were saying, even with McFadden out, Bush is a really good running back, and I think the Raiders will be able to put more points on the board than Denver will, which generally leads to victory, usually.
Yeah.
And like how you said, they were a bye week. That's the last time they played was slightly lost to Kansas City, so they want to get that bad taste out of their mouth. If McFadden doesn't play, I think Michael Bush is not a big drop-off. He's a good back. He's averaging like 4 yards per carry. Carson Palmer, another extra week to work with the offense and get more in sync and stuff. So yeah, I think the Raiders will be able to win.
Not to mention TJ. See how he does.
Oh, TJ.
TJ Hashimzada.
Is he going to do anything? You think he's going to do anything?
Nah.
Well, it won't really matter. Denver didn't score any points last week. So all they got to do is kick a field goal. Just get it to the 50 and let Seabass take it.
Right.
All right, so the next game we're choosing is San Francisco at Washington. And the 5 panel members all decided for San Francisco. San Francisco's got the number 11 rush defense and the number 10 overall defense. Washington doesn't have an offense, they kind of do. They're really middle of the pack, but that middle of the pack just isn't going to cut it against this tough San Francisco defense. Frank Gore has really been rushing the ball well. Alex Smith is facilitating the offense as it's needed to be. He's not an elite quarterback in my eyes,
Don't
but
even say those.
Yeah.
In the same sentence, please.
But he's doing his job, and they can win games. And with their tough defense and Washington's very mediocre offense and mediocre defense, I can see San Francisco taking it. But I think we all need to watch out because Mike Shanahan can try to make this a trap game for San Francisco. So watch out for some of the tricky stuff that Mike Shanahan can pull on both offense and defense.
Not to give my pick away, I'm obviously taking the Niners. I have a Niners sweatshirt on.
We're all big homers here.
I'm really worried about this game too, just because the Niners have a track record of when they play games on the road in the Midwest and the East Coast. They haven't been very successful in the recent past, except for this season where they're 2 or 3-0. I think this might be a game where they can flub up. But just looking at the two teams, I'm gonna have to take the Niners. The Washington Redskins. I think have lost their last 3 and put up no points against Buffalo. Their last win at home was week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals, and that was only by 1 point. The Niners are they're kind of clicking on all cylinders right now. I really expect them to come into Washington with a full head of steam and take care of business on the ground and minimize their turnovers.
Yeah, Washington they're not playing well. Simple as that. As a team, they really seem to lack an identity, be that offense and defense. They don't even know who the quarterback is, but they keep changing it every week, it seems, from Rex Grossman to John Vick. Yeah, they're pretty much middle of the pack in every stat category on both sides of the ball. So San Francisco is just a good team, and they're going to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much that's the key. Washington's average. They're 3-4. They're 3-4. They're not great in any particular category. Whereas the Niners have a great rushing attack, a great rushing defense, a great defense overall, and their passing game is just enough to keep up with the rest of the team. I don't think that Washington's going to be able to do anything on offense. Like you were saying, Washington has. When you're having this problem with quarterback, it's hard for the receiver to know who's going to be playing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if John Beck made it through half the game and then they put in Rex Grossman. There's really no sort of there's really no sort of standard quarterback there, and when you have 2 quarterbacks that you don't know who's gonna pick, it's because they both suck, and no one really knows who no one really knows who to put in there. So yes, pick the Niners.
Right. So when you have 2 quarterbacks that you don't know how to pick, they both suck. The Niners have 2 good players too, Alvin Smith and Frank Gore. Frank Gore's been a workhorse, man. The last couple of games he's been rushing more than 100 yards. Alvin Smith just got the Rookie of the Month last month, so he's going to probably do some damage out there too with that offensive line that Washington has. So, yeah, I'm definitely picking San Francisco.
And we didn't even mention Patrick Willis.
We never do.
I don't think we need to because he's just a beast.
Yeah, he's just a beast.
Who's Patrick Willis?
What?
For our Sunday game, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Steelers. I don't think the Baltimore Ravens are actually that great of a team. They are not a good road team, at least. They lost to both the Titans and the Jaguars. And the last two times that these two teams played was in Week 1, where the Baltimore Ravens kind of stomped the Steelers. But I think these two teams are completely different teams right now. I feel like the Ravens are kind of staying stagnant, where the Steelers have won 6 out of their last 7 games, and they've won their last four in a row, I believe. I just think that the Ravens aren't going to basically be up to the challenge, and I think that the Steelers will beat them at home.
All right, well, I'm picking Baltimore. I think the Ravens have a good running game, and I think the Steelers, although their run defense is stingy, their overall defense is stingy, I think they give up just enough. They give up about 99 yards a game. That's just enough wiggle room for Ray Rice. I mean, I think we can both agree that Ray Rice is a really good back, both carrying the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield. I think that gives him enough wiggle room to really make an impact on the game. I think we can both agree this is going to be a really hard-hitting game.
For sure.
I'm giving the Ravens a slight edge with their defense. 1, Terrell Suggs owns Ben Roethlisberger, and 2, the Ravens' rush defense is really stingy. So I give them the slight edge, and what really puts it over the edge for me is Joe Flacco during the regular season does really well against the Steelers. In the playoffs, he's choked it a couple times, but during the regular season, against the Steelers especially, he plays well. So I can see Joe Flacco not having a Tom Brady game, but he is going to have a good enough game to, I think, help the Ravens get the edge and win it.
Also, the thing about Joe Flacco is, the last time they played a game on the road, they were against the Jaguars, and they only put up 7 points, and that wasn't until 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. If they play like that, they're not going to be able to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is undefeated at home right now. they're skyrocketing as far as how well they're playing. I just really don't think the Ravens right now at this point they're a complete enough team and firing on all cylinders enough to win this game this week. But it is going to be close.
Yeah, no, and I think really who plays in the game is going to impact it. Because if the Steelers don't have Hines Ward, I think,
Oh, that's true.
yeah, I think that takes almost like a fear out of their offense. Like not only is Hines Ward like a great possession receiver, but he lays down some of the most vicious blocks in the NFL, like point blank. So I think it matters who plays in this game. I think regardless, we can both agree that people are going to be getting smacked in this game. And Terrell Suggs is going to be hungry. He's going to be looking for Ben Roethlisberger. So Ben Roethlisberger, watch out.
Go Steelers.
And go Ravens.
And now for the Monday night game. It's Chicago at Philadelphia. The panel has, well, except for me, unanimously picked Philadelphia. I have picked Chicago. Why? 2 words. Jay Cutler. No, I'm just kidding. That's not a joke. No, Matt Forte. He leads the team in rushing. He leads the team in receiving. I don't think that Philadelphia has enough defensively to stop Matt Forte. I know Philadelphia had a great week last week, but that was against Dallas, who's clearly a team on the decline, a team that doesn't know what they're doing, and I don't anticipate LaShawn McCoy having as many yards rushing as he did last week, or doing even close to what he did last week. On the same tip, Chicago's coming off a bye week. They're able to see what Philadelphia did last week, see what Dallas did not do last week, and correct any mistakes that Dallas made to hopefully take the game. Yeah, that's pretty much why I'm picking Chicago.
Well, the Philadelphia defense in their past 2 games has held their respective teams to under 300 yards in total offense.
Whatever.
And also, LaShawn McCoy has almost 400 yards in his past 3 games, while Chicago's team really has, just like Washington, lacked an identity, be that offense and defense. They're both about around 15 in the league in every offensive and defensive category. Philadelphia looks like they're starting to live up to that hype that was built around them in the preseason. I don't think it's to that hype level because everybody was pretty much giving them the Super Bowl, but they're really coming back, and I just don't believe in Jay Cutler. I think Nnamdi and Asante Samuel and Rogers Kamari go there and shut him down and just hand McCoy the ball, give him some draw plays.
Either way, it's a must-win for both of those teams.
Yeah, it's a must-win, but Chicago sucks.
Jay Cutler, man, you're going to see it.
All right, and the last game we're picking this week is our wild card game, Green Bay at San Diego. The panel split 4-1. 4 of us, excluding Roger, all chose Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay is just a beast, like on both sides of the ball. On the defensive side, they got Clay Matthews, A.J. Hawk, Charles Woodson, who are all having a really good season. And on the offensive side of the ball, they have Aaron Rodgers and whoever he wants to throw the ball to. I mean, like, he's just insane. He's having a really good season. I think people are underestimating his mobility because he makes an impact on the ground, too. And really, like, I think Green Bay's defense is kind of underrated because even though they might give up some yards, they're ranked number 7 in points allowed, and they score a lot of points. So I see Green Bay holding San Diego, and I see Phillip Rivers choking it with his little T-Rex throw, and I see Green Bay taking this one kind of easy and staying undefeated.
All right, in the shocker of all shockers, who do I pick? San Diego. You know why? Because I'm El Diablo, that's why. All right, so this week I have San Diego being the Green Bay Packers. Everyone on the panel thinks Green Bay is going to beat San Diego. I'm going for the underdog. I just feel like this is going to be the week that Green Bay loses.
All right, so that's Week 9 NFL picks. Make sure to watch the Chabot Spectator panel, do their midseason report, pick our MVPs, our surprise team, our best team, all that good stuff. So we'll see you next week.